Hello! Today I'm going to be diving deep into new quizzes. New quizzes are an excellent tool on Canvas to create interactive lectures as well as exams and, of course, quizzes. In order to make a new quiz, we're going to need to log into Canvas, go to the course where we'd like to create the new quiz, and come down in our course navigation menu to Quizzes. You'll notice that when you enter into quizzes, we'll come over here and add a quiz, just like we did for a classic quiz. So we'll click the blue button in the top right corner for plus quiz, and you'll notice you'll get this choose quiz engine. Now, if you chose to do classic quizzes and clicked remember my choice for this course, you'll notice that when you go into new quizzes, and you add a quiz, you won't be given a choice and be taken directly to classic quizzes. If this happens to you, simply go back to quizzes, go to the top right hand corner and click those three dots, and then you're going to say reset quiz engine choice. Reset quiz engine choice. Once you do that, you'll go ahead and click add quizzes and you'll get this nice prompt again. So again, if you've ever selected remember my choice for this course, you can always undo that in the hidden menu next to the blue add quiz button. So now that you have the option to add a new quiz, we're going to go ahead and click new quizzes and hit submit. You'll notice that we have a few options that are very similar to the classic quizzes. We can add a new quiz name. We can give it some points. We can assign it to an exam group or create a group. We can even create one for interactive lectures, which is super fun. And here we can just display the grade as complete, incomplete, or points, whatever you'd like to do. If you have auto-graded things that are not essays or file uploads, this will go directly to your gradebook. If not, it will send the partial grade to your gradebook, and then you will need to manually go in and grade the essay questions and hit update in your speed grader for it to update in the gradebook. Now, this is important to tell students. They will get a little notification once they finish their interactive lecture or lesson or a quiz that says not the full quiz has not been graded yet, but sometimes students miss that and they might panic a little bit. Don't worry, just say, hey, I'm going to grade those soon, and the grade will be updated in the gradebook. Don't worry about it. Canvas is currently working on this, but it is taking some time to fix. Next, you cannot change the submission type because New Quizzes is technically an external tool. And then at the bottom, you can assign to everyone, or you can even assign to individual students. You know, if someone needs an extension, you can add an extension for them as well. So you can add that just like you do assignments and other things. Next, you have three different options at the bottom. You can save and publish, save, or build. Now, if you save, you have no questions. If you save and publish, you save it and publish it with no questions. So in order to add questions, we need to click this build button down at the bottom right corner. Once we click build, we'll go into this nice fancy area that looks super modern. At the top, we have the build section. Then we have some settings, and you'll notice that these settings are different than the classic quizzes. So a big question people always ask is, what's the difference between classic and new quizzes? Well, here you go. The settings are different. Notice that in new quizzes, you can now shuffle questions. How cool is that? You can shuffle answers just like you could in the classic quizzes. You can do one question at a time, just like classic. You can require a password, just like classic. You can add a time limit, just like the classic. You can filter IP addresses, which we do not recommend. You can now allow a calculator, basic or scientific. This is only for new quizzes. So if you want a calculator to appear on the right-hand side of the screen, then you can allow a calculator. You can also allow multiple attempts, just like you could in classic. And the restrict student view is a little bit different than classic. So you can show the points awarded. So it won't say, right or wrong or give any feedback. It'll just show points. You can show the points possible. And you can show items and questions. So if you do this, you can show the student responses, but not indicate correct or incorrect. Or you can indicate if it's correct or not. You can show the correct answer with incorrect, or you can show item feedback. So if you just want students to see their own responses and the automated feedback you've created, but not know if it's right or wrong yet, you can allow them to see it as well. Now, if you don't click on this, students will be able to view the results immediately after taking it. So if you want to restrict when they can do that or how much they can see, you'll need to select what you'd like here. And that, again, that depends on the class you're doing, and if you're doing a interactive lesson with new quizzes, or if you're doing a quiz or an exam, that might change how you do that setting. The next tab at the top is report. So once students take the quiz or do the interactive lesson, you can view the reports here. You can also now moderate and accommodate. Now, I've discussed the accommodations and moderations in a separate video because it's a little bit different and you need to have students in it. So check that video out if you need to accommodate or moderate a quiz for a student in your course. Let's go back to the build area so we can see what we can do. Over here, you can open it up and it will create this nice table of contents for your quiz with all your questions and the point values. So that's nice. You can collapse it and open it there. At the top right corner, if you hit return, it'll take you back to the last page you were on and it will save it. You also have manage item banks here, which I'll discuss item banks and all of that as well here shortly, and you can create item banks and outcomes. Next, we can add the title. This will automatically be the title you gave it in the previous window. You can change it if you like. You can add instructions, and you'll notice that the rich text editor bar is a little bit different. This is the basic rich text editor bar, but you'll still notice on the side you can still insert media. You can embed it. Or you can upload it as well if you want to leave a video instructions. You can add a link, upload images, or things like that. You can also change the heading styles and all that fun stuff here if you want to type in directions or instructions for your students. So again, you can add all of that here. Now to add a question, we'll have to click this middle blue plus sign here. And you'll notice we've got a little piggy bank, so if you want to use questions from your item bank, you can do that. And I'll discuss item banks in a separate video. And then here you can select your different questions. So this is another difference between classic and new quizzes. So now we've got this new one that's called categorization. So you can have students drag and drop information from one category to another. So that's pretty cool. You can do... We're going to go ahead and cancel. You can also do a file upload, same as before. You can do a formula where you ask them to create a formula definition and do different things like that. So you can explore that if you'd like. You can also do matching. This is new. So again, they will drag and drop to match. So this is great for language courses or just vocabulary or term definitions. That can be great as well. You have multiple choice, which is, the same as before. Ordering is great for putting steps in a process in order, story, building in order, things like that. So you can do that as well. There's essay, just like there was in classic, fill in the blank as well. Hotspot is new. So for hotspot, you would add an image and then click on an area and ask students to identify a specific area. I know a lot of colleagues in art history who use this, have students identify certain parts of a painting and then discuss, the importance of it, or you could do it for vocabulary identification. There's a lot of really fun things you can do with a hotspot for a picture. And then you've got multiple answer as well. So multiple choice means there's one correct answer out of a set of options. Multiple answer means that they would select one or more of the options that you've selected. Numeric, they just enter a number, and true or false. The next thing that is really, really cool that I want to show you is this stimulus. The stimulus is by far my favorite thing about new quizzes. I create awesome interactive lessons with this stimulus. So here you can give the question a title or a name. You can give them instructions. For example, watch the video and answer the corresponding questions. And then here I can insert a YouTube video. So let's go ahead and pull one and I'll insert it here. So to insert it, I'm going to click this Insert Media in the Rich Text Editor bar, and I'm going to want to embed the video. So that means I need an embed code. So let's say I've got this nice video here about comprehensive classic quizzes that I want you to watch as well in addition to this one. I'll go ahead and click Share because it's from YouTube, and I'm going to click the Embed button here, and I'm just going to copy and paste this embed code. So I'll pop back over to Canvas, paste the embed code, and click OK. And now my video is embedded right on the page, which is fantastic. I can add the source URL as well, just in case I need to refer to it later. So I'll go back over to YouTube, copy that link, and put it here. Notice that this is not visible to students. This is just for your reference. This is in case your embed ever breaks when you transfer this quiz over to a new course or whatnot, and so you can find it again. I'm going to go ahead and click Add Stimulus. Once I click Add Stimulus, the name and instructions and video will appear for students. And now I can attach questions to that video. So this is super great. I can do true or false. Was this video helpful? Hopefully you'll use full questions. So was this video helpful, true or false? Okay, I can add a point value. I can reduce the point value. I can also click this little, this tiny little dialog box here, and I can give feedback for correct answers, incorrect answers, or general feedback. So this will be shown to students after they've completed the quiz. I can add options to show the calculator. I can align it to outcomes if I've created outcomes, and I can add this question to a question bank if I want to. So I can just add it right here to my first bank if I want to, if I've created a question I like and I want to add to a bank later. And then just hit save. And I can attach as many questions as I want to this essay, reflections, maybe you can ask for a reflection about it. You can give them spell check, a word count. You can set a word limit. So maybe I only want to allow 100 words for this answer. So I'm going to go ahead and do 100 words. And then I can do some grading notes if I have, a TA helping me out or something like that. And I can also add this to another bank if I want to add it to the bank as well. And then you'll notice here that we've got helpful and a reflection. Once you've attached questions in the video, you don't need to save. In order to save anything, you just hit return. If you'd like to view it, you can go ahead and click preview, and you can see just what the student sees. So when the student comes in, they'll see the name of the quiz or the lesson, the instructions, and then watch the video here, and then they can click and watch the video right in the quiz. So if you set a time limit, make sure they have enough time to watch the full video and answer the questions. And then here they can go ahead and answer and submit. So it says, are you ready to submit? You won't be able to change your answers. Submit. It'll auto grade what it can. And then here it says one question requires grading. So as I said before, if you have essay questions, the students will be notified that the point values have not been calculated just yet, because there's still a question that needs to be graded. So we can exit the preview here, hit return, and it will take us right back to quizzes. Now if we ever need to edit this quiz, we can click on the name here in the quizzes, and it will take us first to the settings and then to build. Now, just like anything else, you will need to save and publish it. So you can either do that by going back to the editing area or by clicking on quizzes and simply clicking this little publish icon here to make it green, and that will make it available to students. So this has been an in-depth preview or overview rather of new quizzes in Canvas. There's another video on accommodations and moderations in new quizzes, and there will be another video out about how to create and use item banks in new quizzes as well. Have a wonderful day.